So apparently we have some issues come with Detroit Lions. Sound like the Lions being reported by Detroit podcast. I think those was the same guys that had Drew Petting on their podcast. I could be wrong. Who did the interview with him? The rumors are coming from them that the Lions had a deal in place to send 2 first-round picks to the Raiders plus Terrion Arnold for Maxx Crosby. Now, there have been previous rumors that they were ready to ante up in last year or before last season and get Myles Garrett. So obviously, Brad Holmes obviously understands where they're weak at, and him willing to trade 2 first-round picks for Maxx Crosby probably let you know that a couple of things real quick. One, that they probably was going to use their first or second round draft pick on a defensive end, preferably the first. 2, they have a plan in place for a tackle. And my thing is this: I know Taylor Decker coming back, but they had a plan in place for a tackle. Because Decker coming back for 1 year, you don't want to rush and get a tackle and wait till you need one to get one, right? So they must have had another plan in place for a tackle. Because if you trading your first 2 first-round draft picks in a tackle-rich draft, they must have a plan for tackle, and also, which is not a bad thing, because once you get to the 3rd round, you can find, good tackle prospects, play them at a guard and get them popping. So they must have had a plan at tackle. Personally, I don't really think Maxx Crosby is like worth 2 ones. And I know people gonna say, "Oh, CJ, you try." I just don't. Now, Myles Garrett is worth 2 ones or something. That's just a totally different stratosphere player between Garrett, and then it's space between Micah, and then it's space between Maxx Crosby. But I understand it. Winning football player, play to run well, get a sack, local guy. Both your defensive ends are local guy. I'm for it. I'm not against it. But like I said before, 28 years old, already got paid, so you can make cases for it, right? And but Terrion had an incident. I wasn't gonna speak on it. The incident, allegedly, somebody ponied down on him, and he went back to pony down on them. So it depends how many degrees of separation he had from the homeboys. My thing is, I don't feel like it should be a crime. Back in the day, you do something, that person can retaliate. And like I've always say, if you listen to some of my deeper videos on my other platforms, I always say, man, the laws are to protect the evil more than they are to protect the good from the evil. Because somebody punch you and you hit them back, but guess what? Society conditions you to turn the other cheek. That ain't, nah. At one point, if somebody stole from you, they could chop your hands off. Somebody did something to your kid, you could do something to their kid. You feel what I'm saying? At some point, that's the way the world naturally operates. You don't turn the other cheek. Somebody hit you upside your head, you hit them upside their head. So somebody got down on them. They found out who got down on them, and they took it within their own hands. So apparently, allegedly, that holded the trade. Now, people say we can put another player in there. The thing about it is they could have been negotiating 2 or 3 other players, and they compromised on this one. So in my opinion, I'm pretty sure they talked about 2 or 3 other players being before they got to Terrion Arnold. And I'm not talking about the obvious, the no Ahmad, no, whoever, no Jameer, Ja. So, yeah. So I'll be like, okay, I know they're not talking about them. So who else, was a player? Would they, do DJ Reed? You know what I'm saying? But then again, how do you replace DJ Reed? That's the $1 million question. You lose 2 first-round draft picks. You can create a lot of cap space still. Okay, do you hope that the Cleveland Browns release Denzel Ward? Do you take more draft capital to get Denzel Ward? And who else is available out there? Then you also got safety issues. How do you feel about your safeties? You know what I'm saying? So to be honest with you, Terrion was an interesting trade, but if they moved Terrion, they probably felt like they had a good replacement plan. But a good replacement plan is different for Terrion than it is for DJ Reed. So maybe their replacement plan was just to put Rackstraw in there. But now if you move Reed instead, Rackstraw, no, you got to go out there and find another top corner. You know, and hope certain guys don't get franchise tags. So when we start to have these conversations, you know, it tends to get interesting. It tends to get really interesting when we start to have these conversations, because I'm pretty sure they compromised with Terrion Arnold. So, you know, we go out there and see who left at corner, and then not only who you get from free agency, can you get them? Trayvon Diggs, Jamil Dean. Remember, they chose Carlton Davis over Jamil Dean. Do you bring back a Meek and go with a Meek, Terrion, and Rackstraw? With a stronger defensive, with a stronger front seven now, and you can do that. You know what I'm saying? You can get away with it. Greg Newsome, who was traded from Cleveland last year. You know, how do you feel about him? He was from Northwestern. Roger McCreary, Alontae Taylor was a guy that was linked to them, who were free agent from the New Orleans Saints. Adoree Jackson. I mean, Cam Taylor Britt was a guy that was linked to them last year. Detroit legend Kendall Vidor. Sante Samuels Jr., I think he had an injury. So there's nobody really else that's jumping out to me. Nobody really jumping out to me other than those guys. So, yeah, I mean, obviously they had a plan. But, hey, you know, who else do you look at moving? I don't know, do you say, you know, and then you can't be like, well, I'm willing to give up. And there's rumors that they trading Sam Laporta. Well, I'm willing to give up Sam Laporta to make it happen. They already got Michael Mayer, and they already got the kid from Georgia, Bowers. So you can't just say, I'll throw in Sam Laporta. No. It most likely got to be DJ Reed, or he got to get exonerated. Because I can't think of nobody else. David Montgomery. You know, do they want to do a two-back system between Montgomery and the kid they got from Boise State? I mean, you know, do you go J-Mo in? I mean, when you giving up 2 first-round draft picks like that, that's my thing. Yes, you can give up a corner in the 2 first-round draft picks, right? You can get that corner up because you probably can find a good number 2, or you help that Rackstraw stay healthy. You bring a Meek back. Now, in reality, you probably you have to move DJ Reed, and you got to find a number 1. You know what I'm saying? So that I mean, very interesting. I mean, this is one of the SOL things that happens with the Detroit line. This is so SOL. This is so SOL. The minute you close a deal, you get Maxx Crosby. The guy that you compromise, y'all agree on to trade for, does this. And I ain't saying he wrong. I ain't saying he wrong. I ain't saying that he wrong. That's what I just don't understand about America. You know, how can somebody come on your property that's not supposed to be there to do ill will, and you end up being on trial for defending you and your family? I just never understand that. Somebody do something to me, and I know where they at. Well, I can't do nothing to them. It's designed to protect the true weak people. The true weak people ain't the good people or the good citizens. It's the politicians. It's the wealthy and the true weak people. The average person will whoop that ass of the average politician. By far. And you smarter than the average politician. You're not smart. I just don't understand it. It was a story, and I say this all the time. I read it like a couple years ago. Down in Georgia, an intruder came into his house, and his dog told that guy up. I think they ended up mauling him to death. They took the dogs in for observation. I'm like, they did what they supposed to do. You know, come on, how you gonna say they're a danger to society when you on their property? They guard dogs, And I think they end up releasing them. But they did what they supposed to do. I don't understand how criminals can have rights. I don't get it. I don't get it. If I run this world, if I run this country, I'll change a lot. But thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit the link that say find me everywhere. You can find me everywhere. X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, the whole 9. Peace.